On India Today, we get you all sides of the story. And the opposition is right in asking that even if there was a rumor, even if there was rumor mongering, even if the riots were pre-planned, what was the police doing on ground? What was the administration doing? Why were they caught napping? But then it's also fair to ask, does a rumor entitle a mob to assemble, collect sharp-edged weapons, incendiary material, including petrol, and then attack not just the police, but also vandalize property, burn down two-wheelers and cars, and even heavy earth-moving JCB machines, and then attempt to burn down homes and target specific establishments, including the clinic of a doctor? Was there an attempt to incite the community in the name of Aurangzeb and religious verses being set on fire? There are multiple conspiracy theories from both sides. Joining me on the show is Guru Prakash Paswan, representative of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Seema Malik is the spokesperson of the NCP. Sandeep Singh is an author and an RSS supporter. Sanjay Jha is a political analyst and commentator. Joining us on this broadcast, SP Vaid is former Director General of Police, to give us an investigation, police and law and order perspective on the story. And Guru Prakash Paswan, Aditya Thackeray says that the BJP wants to turn Maharashtra into Manipur. Even a peaceful Nagpur saw riots, and this is a failure of the Devendra Fadnavis government. Where is the evidence on ground to suggest that the riots were pre-planned, sir?
No, Gaurav, I think I strongly suggest and recommend Mr. Thackeray and his team to go through the research that your team has meticulously done. And I was listening to the observation of your reporter, Sumi, and she has categorically said that rumors were spread. Many social media accounts are involved. Over 60 individuals have already been arrested. The government of Maharashtra, the Bharatiya Janata Party, has a track record when it comes to communal harmony. Gaurav, you are very well aware of the fact that communal harmony has been one of the topmost priority of the NDA led by Prime Minister Modi. Look at the last 10 years, for example. Nationally, from 2014 and 2024, the data suggests that the incidence of communal violence has been at the lowest under Prime Minister Modi. I'm not doing any whataboutery here, but you speak of the Congress party and the entire charade of secularism, the entire charade of peace. We are very well aware of the fact that the Congress party used violence as a political tool. But as far as the episode in Nagpur is concerned, it is being monitored. Not only monitored, we also saw the observations of the high police officer who are involved. Curfew is also already imposed. Section 144 is already imposed. But the larger question here, Gaurav, which you must understand, you have done a chain of events. What has happened? There is a community demanding historical accountability. Soon after that, you see there is a mob, uncontrollable mob after the police station, and setting the police station on fire, setting the public property on fire. You know who does it.
No,
but the government of Maharashtra, let me make this point very clear on your show. Let me make this point last 10 seconds, Gaurav. Let me make this point very clear on your show tonight that the government of Maharashtra has already done 60 arrests. We will not sit silent. We will ensure that the justice is done.
No, but why should a riot take place?
Properties.
Why should a riot take place in the first place, sir? Sanjay Jha, a rumor was spread, a mob assembled, and a riot took place. Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis claims that this mob had weapons and a trolley full, I'm quoting the Chief Minister here, trolley full of stones they assembled with the specific intention of disturbing law and order. This clearly cannot be permitted, sir.
Gaurav, good evening. You asked a very pertinent question to the BJP spokesperson. Why did the riots happen to begin with? And what you're witnessing, Gaurav, you're a seasoned veteran in the media. This is a standard BJP playbook. Raising the communal temperature, keeping it at a certain acceptable level where it can be suddenly made very inflammatory. Look at the environment in our country today, Gaurav. You're having these protests on the Waqf board, and it suits the BJP to try and make the minority communities of India look like the fifth columnists. And let's take the example of Maharashtra. I live here. I've lived here for over 3 decades, Gaurav. And we all know that this is one of the most prosperous, eclectic, inclusive states of India. We are very proud of Maharashtra. Mumbai is based out of here. It's a commercial capital, the entertainment capital. Nagpur is not too far away. Here is the question. Why are things happening the way they are? Somebody needs to ask this question of the Chief Minister, Mr. Fadnavis, whose own comments, whether it was during the time of the elections, where he used terms like vote jihad, whether he talked about removing of the tomb of Aurangzeb himself. I mean, there is a lot of dog whistle politics being played out here right
Okay.
now in broad daylight. And,
Okay.
Gaurav, just look at one quote. Look at the minister. There's a minister in the Maharashtra cabinet who has been making the most vulgar, provocative statements against Muslims for a long time. And there is no trial, no charge sheet, nothing. Basically, this government in Maharashtra is sending out a clear message that they will continue to divide and rule, polarize a state that is
Fair
known
enough. You're
the
saying
world
BJP
over
wants to divide and
for
rule. Since
being
you
a
made a direct
prosperous
allegation,
economic
I'll
story.
get Guru Prakash Paswan to quickly respond to the point that you're making on dog whistle politics of the BJP before I bring in Sandeep Singh and then Seema Malik and Mr. Ved. Quickly, sir, Mr. Paswan, you had your hand up. Please respond, sir.
No, Gaurav, a very pointed observation to my dear friend Mr. Sanjay Jha. He is saying that the Muslims in this country are being reduced to fifth columnist. Mr. Jha, my learned friend, please go and read the observation of a report by EACPM, where it has been said that the population of Muslims in India have increased exponentially, unlike other countries. So in a country where Muslims are safe, Muslims are happy, only there the population increases. I strongly recommend the work which is being done for the Muslim women, abolition of triple talaq, revocation of Article 370. You look at the Mudra beneficiary, Ujjwala beneficiaries, the Pasmanda discourse are very pointed. Mr. Jha, you are my learned friend. Please don't indulge in whataboutery. I can give you 10 such examples where senior Congress leaders have also indulged in whataboutery. They have also indulged in Islamophobic statements. But the problem is not that.
Since I need to bring in my other guests, quickly, Mr. Shah, before I bring in Sandeep Singh.
Together.
Yeah. Gaurav, I want to tell your viewers, India Today is one of the few remaining, I would say, credible mainstream organizations. I want to tell your viewers, ask yourselves this question, dear viewers of India Today. Why is the BJP today suddenly resurrecting an emperor during the Mughal era who died 318 years ago? And you will get your answers.
Fair enough, Sandeep Singh.
It was Abu Azmi who started. Abu Azmi started, Sanjay ji. Ab BJP yahan bhi aa gayi. It was your leader Abu Azmi who started this controversy, not
Fair
the
enough.
BJP.
Fair enough, Sandeep Singh. Uddhav Thackeray has come out all guns blazing, questioning the Devendra. Sir, you've responded. You've responded. Devendra Fadnavis' government is being blamed for riots. Asking this question and pertinent question, Nagpur has RSS headquarters. The state chief minister and home minister come from Nagpur. Union minister Nitin Gadkari is MP from Nagpur. Is this then not the failure, not just of the police, but also of the Bharatiya Janata Party, the riots in Nagpur, Sandeep Singh?
Yeah, so I wouldn't like to call it an example based on one event. Just to recall that Bombay has witnessed the kind of bomb blast I think very few cities in the world would have seen, from 1993 to Taj attack. So I'm in Bombay and I have seen the way the moment used to go out, the family member will call up and check, how are you, where are you? The announcement that आपको कुछ भी संदिग्ध दिख रहा है तो उसे मत छुएं. Train, bus, everywhere people were scared. So from 2014, Bombay, Maharashtra and the country hasn't seen the bomb blast. So one event cannot be made an example that there was a failure of the government. The second point, what you started with, Gauravji, was that there is a pattern. Whether it's a cricket match celebration or a Ram Navami or a Holi, there is going to be a problem. So, and police cannot be everywhere. You cannot prevent such things in such a huge country. So, what we should be discussing is that how do we save Hindus in their own country from such attacks? And
that's a very big statement you're making, sir. That's a very big statement you're making. Are you saying that in Hindu majority India, Hindus are unsafe? Is that the point you're making? Especially, yes. Are you saying around Ram Navami or when India wins the cricket match, Hindus cannot celebrate without fear?
Yes. Look at Navratri, look at any event, Saraswati Puja, just make a list of it, or I can send you a whole list of it. So how do we save? So just like in Naxal areas, you train local citizens to fight back. I think Hindus need to be trained in such areas with arms and ammunition, how they defend themselves. The kind of video you are sharing is so shocking. Of so many people with arms and stones pelting doing arsoning, and this is a very regular thing. We just saw
No,
the
sir.
cricket match.
Sir, we have to have
We seen it
100% faith in our law enforcement agencies. Otherwise, there'd be civil war. We don't want to become another Syria, do we? But I want to bring in Seema Malik into this conversation. Seema Malik, you heard Sandeep saying, and that's a huge thing he's saying, that Hindus are unsafe in India, cannot celebrate Ram Navami, cannot celebrate a cricket match victory without the apprehension of somebody will target them, whether it's happening in Maharashtra or happening in some other state.
See, sir, I really don't agree with him that Hindus are not safe here or something. They always create a narrative like this that Hindus are not safe or something. I'm living in this country since my birth, and I've never felt like this that we are not safe or something. We are totally safe, so there's no point of giving such type of statements. And what has happened in Nagpur, this is really unfortunate. We have seen the shops vandalizing and people pelting stones, and the vehicles were set on the fire. And we have never seen such thing in Maharashtra, especially in Nagpur, which is a very peaceful city. And this matter should be, we should talk about the current thing which has happened yesterday, and this matter should be investigated. And this, I must say that this is a total failure of the intelligence, and we can see the deteriorating condition of law and order in Maharashtra. We have seen in the previous few months also, whether which was Badlapur or Nagpur or for the women's safety also, we have seen that what kinds of things are happening here. And issue, 300-old issue, we are talking about that, and I think I must make it clear that we are not, making a Aurangzeb hero, or we are talking. We also believe that he was a bad man, and what he did, everybody knows.
He's a hero for Abu Azmi for certain.
They're praising him or something.
He's a hero for Abu Azmi for certain, madam, and not just Abu Azmi, even Imran Masood.
Not only Abu Azmi, there are many.
Imran Masood is a member of parliament.
Many politicians who give us provocative statements. See,
but why? That's the point. Why should Aurangzeb, who was a cruel bigot and Islamist radical, why should somebody who's been involved not just in killings in Maharashtra, where of course Maharashtra led the fight back against these cruel Mughals, but even Guru Tegh Bahadur, the 9th Sikh Guru, Prime Minister Narendra Modi took the New Zealand Prime Minister just yesterday to Rakabganj, and Gurdwara Rakabganj is where Guru Tegh Bahadur's mortal remains were finally cremated, when that entire house had to be set ablaze. So why should Aurangzeb be a role model for anybody? But I want to bring in Mr. Vaid, because you've raised a very pertinent point. It's a failure of India's intelligence.
He is not a role model for anybody, sir, I must say.
Then somebody needs to tell Abu Azmi and people like Imran Masood that. And, unless the opposition speaks in multiple voices, keep praising Aurangzeb, keep criticizing Aurangzeb, and run with the hare and hunt with hounds. Is that permitted? But I want to bring in Mr. Vaid. Sir, is this a total failure of the intelligence agencies? Or I want to bring a more serious aspect into this conversation, sir. Rumours are spread deliberately and then riots take place. We've seen that in Delhi. Anti-Citizenship Amendment Act riots. Sambhal, a disputed structure riot. Now in Nagpur. Sir, do you see a pattern? Spread rumour, incite a mob, and watch the nation burn. Is there a deeper conspiracy? Can you join dots? Is there a pattern that emerges?
Gaurav, thank you for having me. I have been observing for quite some time. There is a sinister design in this country to engineer riots, whether it is Sambhal, whether it is Nagpur, or Delhi, or many other places in the country. The kind of statements which are coming from different political parties. I'm sorry, this is if this way things continue, you are raising the tempers, and I have no sympathy for these people who are indulging in riots. I think they should be dealt with absolutely no mercy. They are the illegitimate children of Aurangzeb, and we in this country, no one appreciates what Aurangzeb did.
Okay.
But whatever statements, whatever provocation, I'm surprised not even one political party is criticizing these people who are resorting to this kind of burning of vehicles, burning of public property, burning of motor vehicles. Very, very sad state of affairs. Instead of hurling charges on each other, I expect that political parties should have first gone after these people. They are not proper citizens of this country who are burning this country.
So that's a very strong statement, and I want Sanjay Jha and Ms. Malik to respond to this one by one, and feel free to join in the conversation at any point of time, ladies and gentlemen. And Sanjay Jha, not one opposition party has criticized the rioters. Does the opposition or elements in the opposition, do they stand with these rioters? Do they justify these riots on the basis of a rumor? And do you agree with Mr. Vaid that there is a pattern? Anti-CAA riots based on rumors, Sambhal violence and riots, targeting of police based on rumors, and now Nagpur riots based on rumors. And no opposition party is criticizing the rioters.
Well, Gaurav, let me tell you upfront, not a single opposition party, and I'm not just talking about the Congress, not a single party from the India Alliance has endorsed anything which is going wrong in this country for a long time, since 2014. We have all stood up and said that our country is being divided and it is being ruled by a party which is playing brazen communal hate, and what I call is inspired by the British politics of divide and rule. That is the point. They are the arson, the violence, the perpetrators.
No, somebody staying in Bombay
at the same time, what needs to happen, and I need to tell that to the respected Mr. Vaid. Mr. Vaid, you also need to recognize who is triggering this. Who are the politicians who are making hate speeches? Who are the people at the helm of affairs who are deliberately instigating people? Would you hold them accountable or would you not? Are you aware of Ramesh Biduri's hate speech in Parliament, where he targeted an entire minority community in the most crude manner? Can we ignore the bulldozers that have razed homes? Can we ignore the lynching deaths that have happened since 2014? There is an attempt being made to make certain people feel very vulnerable. They are being called anti-national since 2014, Mr. Vaid. I hope you're aware of that. And I agree with you on one thing, though. Anybody who indulges in violence must face the law. I agree with you there. But why are you and many people silent when politicians make hate speeches and divide society? Why are you silent, Mr. Vaid, when that happens?
Mr. Paswan wants to respond. Ms. Malik wants to respond. Mr. Paswan, please go first, sir.
No, I was patiently listening to Sanjay ji, and he spoke about politicians making hate speeches and dividing societies. जब एक बड़ा वृक्ष गिरता है तो धरती हिलती है. When a big tree falls, the earth shakes and 2,000 people from a community is targeted and they are killed. As a part of institutional violence, Congress leaders, Congress ministers, Sajjan Kumar, Jagdish Tytler, who was a union minister as late as UPA 1, 2004 to 2009, and the latest verdict of the Supreme Court, we saw Mr. Sajjan Kumar. So I think, Gaurav, I say this with a lot of confidence that we don't need to indulge in whataboutery. But point number two, and my last point, Gaurav, which you must understand, you mentioned about Waqf. There was a mention of Sambal. There was a mention of CAA. There was a mention of Jamia. There was a mention of 370. We have to understand when the Prime Minister of this country in 2007 says कि देश के संसाधनों पे पहला हक minorities का है, especially Muslim minorities का है. Is it not part of hate speech? Is it not part of minority appeasement? The problem with the Congress party, the problem with the entire opposition today is that they have subscribed to the politics of minority appeasement, and hence your question that no one answered that they have to stand by the writers no matter what happened.
Okay.
They still have no word. They still have no word of criticism.
Again, a strong
criticism. Mr. Sanjay
Sanjay Jha wants to come in. Mr. Sandeep Singh wants to come in, as does Ms. Malik. Sanjay Jha, do respond. Opposition is standing with the writers. It's part of minority appeasement politics, is what the BJP insists.
Gaurav, let me tell you, when the Prime Minister of our own country, the current Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, in the 2024 Lok Sabha elections talks about Mangal Sutra, mutton, aapka bhains chhin lega. If the Congress party wins, there could be more Muslims in the cricket team. When you have this kind of politics coming from the CEO of this country, you know exactly what the BJP's game plan is. I don't have to say anything more.
Okay, so what you're saying is Your point is BJP does Hindu appeasement, Congress does, or the opposition does Muslim appeasement.
I never said the
Is that what
opposition
we are
does
taking away
minority
with?
appeasement.
Because my
Standing
question.
up for secularism is not
No.
appeasement. Secularism is not a bad
Show
word.
me one
because
political
BJP says
party,
so.
show me one opposition party that has criticized the rioters. Show me one political party. Okay, Mr. Sandeep Singh wants to come in. Go on, sir.
Yeah. So eradication of Hindus by Udayanidhi Stalin is secularism. Abusing Mahakumbh by every kind of opposition leader is secularism. That is what Sanjay Jha is saying. So that is what we have to read between the lines, and which clearly tells where the opposition stands.
Okay, Sanjay, I'll get you to respond, but Ms. Malik, you wanted to come in because look at what Maharashtra Minister Nitesh Rane is saying. He is also saying that there is a pattern to these arrests. Now, according to him, it started with this bizarre statement made by Abu Azmi. Abu Azmi praised Aurangzeb. The opposition, the BJP alleges, Ms. Malik, is only indulging in Muslim appeasement politics. Respond, madam.
See, sir, this is not only Abu Azmi. I think Nitish Rana is no less, and always he is giving such statements which are condemnable, I must say. And nobody is supporting rioters or something. This I want to tell you. We never say that what they have done, this was very good, and we really condemn this. And we also want to say that this is a total failure and a failure of the Home Ministry, and the Home Ministry should take care of these things. Just talking here and there is not going to work. Basically, Devendra Fadnavis should take care of these things. I think there are so many leaders who are giving provocative statements, and I want to tell you this thing, that they do just to distract distract the attention of the people from the real issues of this country. They never want to talk about unemployment, the rising prices, the 8 farmers committing suicide in Maharashtra every day, and the safety. They don't want to talk about the safety of the women. They don't want to talk about the falling prices of the rupees and the falling share market. This I want to tell you this, and they just want to distract by talking all these things, and the politics of polarization. They are famous for this thing. And,
Mr. Ved, one point that's repeatedly being raised is the failure of the police on ground. And when you look at the sequence of events, right from the time when this information about Aurangzeb's effigy being burnt by the Vishwa Hindu Parishad and the Bajrang Dal, certain sheets with something written on it being set on fire, the moment that rumor started, both sides, we are told, went to the police, including to the Inspector General of Police, the Commissioner of Nagpur. There was some kind of a peace agreement. After that, shouldn't the police have ensured when both sides have split up, they don't assemble again? After that, people assembled, they got sticks and stones, maybe a truck full is what we are being told. Of course, some say there's construction happening, so stone was already available there and bricks were available there, and then started targeting homes of some people or establishments of some people. Isn't this total failure of the Maharashtra Police Administration, Intelligence Network, Home Minister and the Chief Minister, sir?
Gaurav, I don't have all the facts, but what I was listening to since morning on the media, some of the residents saying that we kept ringing local police station and police did not come for quite some time. When tempers are so high and a rumor had taken place, and then there was some kind of agreement between the communities, and by 6 p.m. I am told everyone went satisfied, fine. But then preventive deployment should have been made in sensitive areas. I have been doing it as a police officer. I think some kind of deployment should have been there in those areas which are sensitive, where two communities are living, and there is a possibility of some kind of riot. And the police have information about such areas. And if when violence started happening, immediately reserve should have moved and action should have been taken and contain the rioters and use different kind of force gradually, starting with tear gas,
Yes.
then lathi charge, then a water cannon, and if required, even pellet gun. I have been using in Srinagar.
Yes.
In Kashmir Valley, where at one day, 60 places stone pelting. You remember Burhan Wani?
Yes.
Post Burhan Wani. What was the situation? And 50, 60 places, there used to be stone pelting and violence like this. But then we came down very heavily.
Okay.
And I think that is what is expected from the law and order machinery.
Guru Prakash Paswan, that's the failure of the Devendra Fadnavis-led government in Maharashtra. He's the chief minister, he's the home minister, and yet the police were found wanting in an area where he knows the lay of the land, and yet, I mean, all that he was doing as chief minister, or Mr. Nitin Gadkari was doing as a member of parliament from there, is urging people not to believe rumours. By then, they should have been on ground ensuring, at least the BJP or the police should have been on ground ensuring that those rumours are false, make those statements on loud hailers so that there is no riot, unless it suits people to have a riot at some point of time, sir.
No, Gaurav, I think it is too premature now to reach to a conclusion that it's a failure of Devendra Fadnavis government. Like I said, and like we maintain communal harmony, peace, security, stability of our citizens and our places has been one of the topmost priority. The activism, the promptness with which the Devendra Fadnavis government has acted, we are witnessing on your, as we debate, I can see on your television screen as well, it is very much visible that the state government and the state police have been overactive. They have identified people. Over 60 individual arrests have already been made. Since yesterday, since last night, we have seen curfew section 144 already being imposed. But the fact of the matter is something else, which respected Mr. Vaid has also indicated. We have to reach to the root cause of the problem. There is a community demanding historical accountability, and on that note, on that evening, we see a different protest, and that protest becoming automatically as an uncontrollable mob. Now, who is going to give answers for that? The problem is, like I said, and I maintain it very strongly, you cannot hold a government. You can definitely ask question. What happened in 1984? It happened at the national capital. It happened on the streets of Delhi. It was the failure of Congress government. But we have to ask ourselves that the government which have committed itself to peace, the government which has a track record of stability, the government which has repeatedly shown that we have seen what's happened in Uttar Pradesh. Uttar Pradesh was once very notorious for communal clashes. Muzaffarnagar happened in Uttar Pradesh. You tell me, since 2017, when Yogi Adityanath has become the chief minister of Uttar Pradesh, give me one incident of communal violence? Absolutely zero. Whatever has happened in Nagpur has been very unfortunate, and the government, the chief minister, that the entire system and the entire machinery is proactive. They're on their toes. 60 arrests have been made, and we will ensure strictest action. Gaurav, on your show I can say this, एक ऐसी नजीर पेश की जाएगी, कोई आगे ऐसा करने का हिम्मत नहीं करेगा. But last point, Gaurav, why do you think, I asked you a question, the incident happened in the Mahal area of Nagpur, which is the headquarters of the RSS. Did we ever question this? Was there a message? Did the writers come out with an intention to send a message nationally? Why did they choose a place which is the national headquarters of the Sangha, the Mahal area of Nagpur?
So
we have to ask, there are very
explain what's the message that's being sent out.
Gaurav.
No, sir, explain what is your explanation. What is the message that's being sent out? What is your understanding?
Please.
No, see.
Give me 15 seconds.
Oh, absolutely, sir.
Gaurav,
the moment
Gaurav,
Mr. Paswan completes.
there is a देखो गौरव, हाथ कंगन को आरसी क्या, पढ़े लिखे को फारसी क्या. There is a very popular saying in Hindi, and as we are debating the live the show which is there running on your screen, we can see who are the writers. But the Congress leaders, the Congress politicians, they don't have the moral courage. They don't have the moral courage of identifying who are the writers when we can see it in front of our eyes, that who are the writers. But the Congress party, in their naked race of minority appeasement, will not name the will not name the writers, will not name the accused, because they have to do the politics of minority appeasement, in particularly Muslim appeasement, because they have to stand with the atrocities of Aurangzeb.
Sanjay Jha wants to respond to this point of appeasement politics. That's one part of it. But the second part, Sanjay Jha, when Guru Prakash Paswan or when the BJP says that they did everything possible, one, to contain the situation, ensure it doesn't spread out. And now, as Mr. Paswan says, 60 people have already been taken into custody. The guilty will not be spared. Does that send out a message of reassurance that the riots will not spread? Or, as some argue, the real apprehension is this fire that's been lit could singe other parts of Maharashtra in the country now?
Gaurav, I think your program has hit it right. You have called is Maharashtra a tinderbox. And it's a tragedy that the party is in power here. This is a double-engine sarkar, apparently. And look at the conflagration they are encouraging. Is it for the Bihar elections? I don't know, but they're preparing a ground for further division of our society. Since my friend here talked a lot about incidents that happened, Gaurav, I will take 30 seconds to wrap this up. 30 seconds is all I need. Look at the last 5 big riots that have happened in this country. Babri Masjid, 1992-93. Gujarat riots, 2002. Muzaffarnagar, 2013. Delhi riots, 2020. Manipur is still burning.
84.
And the hand of the BJP and the hand of the Saffron Party is deep in all the violence that has happened. So I would request Mr. Paswan, know your history.
How conveniently, Sanjay ji, you can forget 1984.
Okay. And try and spread conspiracy theories where there are none. And let me leave Gaurav.
How conveniently you have forgotten 1984, Mr. Sanjay Jha.
This government,
how conveniently you have forgotten 1984.
Paswan,
this is the embarrassment of the Congress Party.
Okay.
Paswan, do not interrupt me. I'm just
one by one, gentlemen.
A 15-year-old boy. A 15-year-old boy
sir,
is arrested.
There is a name, sir. I respect you. Please have that level of respect. Please have that level of respect, Sanjay ji. Please have that level of respect, Sanjay ji.
Okay.
Please have that level of respect.
I don't understand. I think he's feeling insecure.
I want to bring in Mr. Sandeep Singh for the last 30 seconds that I have on this
before
part.
Calling me. You must learn some manners, Sanjay ji.
Okay.
But
I never learn manners from anybody from the BJP.
Okay, hold on. You know, we're staying on the substantive issue of
yes,
riots,
1984.
Of riots in Maharashtra, in Nagpur. Sandeep Singh, is there an apprehension that this fire could now singe, God forbid, other parts of Maharashtra or other parts of the country?
No, I don't think so that this riot is going to spread. The government will control it because the government, central government and the state government, wherever BJP are, they are very effective. Yes, I'm not sure where opposition ruled states are, how it can be blown out of proportion. And just to make one correction, Sanjay Jha, the biggest riots were not the ones you named, but much before and all during Congress rule. Just go and check. It was in Jamshedpur, it was in Rourkela in 1971. Those are the called biggest riots. We just can't whitewash them, saying that the Godhra is the biggest riot.
Find out who triggered them, saying.
Okay.
Yes, Jha, you must learn to behave. That's the first thing, Jha.
No, who triggered 1984?
I'm very
you
proud
behave
of
as if you are not in Bombay
Why
before
you get
2014.
offended? Your name is Singh. I'm calling you Singh, man.
My name is Sandeep Singh.
Chill.
Why you get
Calm
offended
down,
with Jha? We'll address you by Jha. Henceforth, everybody will address you by
I'm very proud of it. आप अपने सरनेम से क्यों इतना
okay, but no, this is on the substantive issue. This is on the substantive issue. Mr. Ved, I want to get the last word to Mr. Ved. Mr. Ved, those who are against our country and interests of our country would actually be celebrating in case riots can be triggered so easily in our country, and some people can be triggered so easily just with rumors. What message needs to go across, irrespective of what the rumor is? There should not be a riot. You can only follow the rule of law. If you're aggrieved by something, go to courts of law, go to the police. There is no right to riot. Mr. Ved.
Gaurav, America has been, identifying illegal immigrants and picking them up and sending them. You have seen this happen with India also. Now, in India, there is an effort to identify illegal infiltrators like Bangladeshis and Rohingyas. That is one issue which is actually raising these tempers. Another issue, the Buck-up bill, which is we saw yesterday how at Jantar Mantar the kind of slogans which were coming there. Now I think instead of showing street power, this should have been contested in the parliament. You talk of many of our political parties talk of democracy and all these issues. These should be handled in the parliament. And if you feel that you are not able to stop a particular thing and show a street violence, that this country will not tolerate. It will be punished very, very severely, whoever resorts to this kind of violence. And message will go all across the country and even outside the country that the Bharat is not going to tolerate this kind of display of street violence.
I will let that be the last word on this part of the show. Very clearly, the Devendra Fadnavis government is on notice on this issue. The Yogi Adityanath government has handled rioters in a certain way. Will the Devendra Fadnavis government ensure that it's rule of law, that it's a democracy and not a mobocracy? Mobs will not decide how this country is governed or run. Rumour or no rumour, there can be no riots. Will there be peace between Russia and Ukraine? US President Donald Trump has dialed the Russian President Vladimir Putin. White House says Trump and Putin are speaking as the US seeks the Russians to sign off on a plan to end the war against a skeptical Ukraine, reports the Associated Press. Now, sources are saying that the phone call between the two heads of state, the presidents of the United States of America and the president of Russia, the conversation is going well. So they are to speak from now for likely to last a couple of hours or maybe an hour, and we will know if there is a breakthrough. Will peace prevail? Will peace return to the region? We'll track that story closely. But I want to move forward to the other story. In less than 7 hours from now, Sunita Williams, the US astronaut, will be back on Earth. She's been stranded in space for nearly 10 months. NASA has said that the astronaut is finally Earth-bound. SpaceX Falcon 9 undocked, the rocket undocked from the International Space Station earlier this morning. Here's wishing Sunita Williams a safe journey back to Earth.
Sunita Sunny Williams is on her way back to Earth. SpaceX Dragon spacecraft successfully undocked on Tuesday morning to start its journey with 4 astronauts on board. It's been close to 9 months since Sunita and Butch left Earth on their space mission. Sunita Williams was the captain for the International Space Station for all these months. Once the crew 10 reached, she handed over her responsibility to the next crew on Sunday and started to prepare for her return. With warm hugs, Butch and Sunny bid farewell to the International Space Station on Tuesday morning. It was their home for the last few months. In the Phase 1, the Dragon capsule detached from ISS and started its journey back to Earth. The trunk and capsule separates in Phase 2. The trunk then deorbits and burns up in the atmosphere. Thrusters ignite for 15 minutes, deorbit, burn in the Phase 3. Next, the spacecraft repositions itself to enter atmosphere. Parachutes are deployed in the Phase 5 to stabilize the capsule, and in the final phase, it splashes down for 50 kilometers of Florida. Fast boats extract astronauts and bring them to the shore.
But you start feeling this gentle push on your back, and that is the deceleration forces building up the G-forces. But it comes on quite rapidly, and they're going to feel up to about 4, maybe 5 Gs of deceleration, which is quite punishing after that length of time in zero gravity. And it gets very warm in the spacecraft as well. It's about 1600 Celsius outside the spacecraft. You even see the plasma enveloping the whole spacecraft out the windows. So it gets very warm inside. And then probably the most aggressive part is about 6 or 7 minutes later, once you're through most of the atmosphere, and then the parachutes open, and that you're still probably going just over the speed of sound. So when the parachutes start to slow you down and start opening, the capsule is swung around quite violently underneath.
Nearly 8,500 miles away from Florida, in the native village of Sunita Williams' father, Gujarati people are praying for her safe return. In the ancient Dolo Devi Mandir in Julsana village of Mehsana, Akhand Jyoti was lit since she got stuck in space.
Since the time she was to return earlier in June 2024, since then, they have been praying for Sunita Williams' safety. Dola Ma's picture was taken along by Sunita Williams when she had gone to space earlier. And these villagers are confident and they have full faith on Ma that Sunita Williams will be returning home safe and sound.
The whole village was waiting for her safe return.
बच्चे भी बहुत उत्साहित हो जाते हैं कि हम भी ऐसे बने, और वो तो हमारे गांव का एक अनमोल रत्न है. हमारा गांव का नाम बड़ा रोशन किया है पूरा विश्व में, तो हमको आनंद तो होगा ना.
Sunita Williams visited Julsana village twice, in 2007 and then in 2013.
These children are praying for her safe return on earth. This is Julsana village in Mehsana, where you can see this school, which is inspiring these children to become like Sunita Williams and make India proud in the world. You can see the pictures of Sunita Williams that have been put up in this particular school in Julsana village of Mehsana in Gujarat.
उनको देख के, उनके बारे में सुन के तो बच्चे बहुत ही प्रेरणा लेते हैं, बनना भी चाहते हैं, लेकिन किस तरह से बनेंगे वो सब ये जब सुनीता जी आएगी और उनके मुंह से हम सुनेंगे तो बहुत ही बढ़िया रहेगा. बच्चे भी उत्सुक हैं उनसे मिलने के लिए और उनके जैसे बनने के लिए तैयारी भी कर रहे हैं.
Prayers and conducive weather will ensure that the splashdown at around 3:30 a.m. India time on 19th March is a success and Sunita Williams is finally home. With Shivani Sharma, Bureau Report, India Today.